Surprise, this is recording. I've tried to make a couple videos, and I just wanted to talk about the energies of the full moon. Well, it's going on the 19th now, and boy, I don't know, it feels pretty bad, it feels like crap to me, it feels like shit. And now here's why. It's because of the money system lingering over there. See, I'm not gonna post the first video or the second video, even though I've posted worst videos, and see, these are actually getting kind of personal and sincere, and it's the last thing I should do is to start not posting videos when it might help me more. But see, I'm not asking for help. I don't like, I'm an Aries rising and I have just the most discombobulated problem of a problem, and I think that, see, I try to do things in a more unique way, and I can see through. You can see through, like, the safety net that people throw you into, which is misery, really. Here, just, why don't you want to be the same misery as everybody else, you see? And it's like, I've done things uniquely, um, me, for this long. Why should I change now? And so, thanks for listening to this. I'm surprised that we are still recording, because I really want to clear out my storage. Here we go. It's too bad, I'm going to get rid of some of these videos that are actually, they are kind of worked up, because let me tell you what the contagion is. It's bad. Now, it is the mind, and it's living in fear, and everything is stuck, right? With especially the system, and money is conducting a huge death cult system. And why do they call it death cult? It's because it's a darn huge mental institution, right? It's got you believing this. It could have you believing anything. Because why? Well, because it's for the convenience of getting money, and there's an addiction to that. Why is the addiction there? There's something complicating on this planet that we're really here to do, and because there's something like that, a lot of people are opposed to that. Maybe there is a God. Code for saying maybe people are not so good at love. And it's true. We should start talking about it, how that love is not everybody's cup of tea. They are, you can look at that astrologically, you can see, oh my God, see, it's a good time to talk about it now. Can you feel it? See, I'm going to try to put this video up around about the 19th or the 20th to try to sparse out our viewing time, as far as the August commotion. Trying to, be here for people, and let's hold each other's hand while we go through the cosmic um, turbulence. So this is the 18th, going on 11 o'clock here of August, and what's in the air is it's rearing up the issue of financial stress, and what is it really, you know? Well, we live a very tedious, like, it's uncreative, though. See, the money system happens to people or a civilization that has lost access to their creative lives. I'm not backing down from saying that needs to open up more conversation, and only a few people can have it who are really creative, who actually were able to contribute something to the tune of these here Star Trek, trying to do something for us. What do you think? Well, I think it has everything to do with reorientating ourselves financially. Um, well, through because it's a kind of a war machine, and I'm in the middle of brainstorming. I'm trying to figure out, well, how do we do this? Because everybody is just trying to make money doing anything and everything, and maybe that's precisely it. See, you hear it more and more about your brand. What's your brand? And so, like, a single person can have a brand. Well, what if it's a one side of the two that are here? Like, let's just say there's one out of two types. There's two brands here. What if? What if there's two brands here? Think with me on this a little bit. We have plenty of space that I just erased. And boy, the videos I just erased, if it doesn't, if you can't see it on my face, I would like to be, everybody would like to be taken care of, right, and pampered, and you got to do it yourself. You have to do it for yourself. I miss the days where I used to have a job where I could throw money down the toilet to rent a house every month, right? Renting is literally just throwing money down the toilet. I'm sorry, you people are crazy being able to pull that off. That is such a joke. Fuck you, man. I'm sorry. Something needs to change, and it will. Something will change. What is change, babes? We're talking about money, right? We're talking about the ability to change. See, for me, yes, of course. If see, I want to rearrange, and I keep envisioning the possibility for me is very real. It's just a big, huge bunch of possibilities, and the main thing is the one thing that's not on the table, the list of things to do as a possibility, is to fall completely unaware and not be able to access that possibility like in 5D, whatever you want kind of thing. Which I don't believe in the whatever you want kind of thing. It's more like align to what you think you should have. What will work out really is pretty much, to me, it's like, man, if you haven't noticed these times, I've heard the analogy going through the eye of a needle, and I would suggest, to not have a knot in it, right, in the thread, and that thread is, I would like to say, each and every individual, and they just need to let go, or of each other. Try not to bundle up too hard. Just be individuals while we go through this, right? This time right now with the Uranus transits, I can't stress it enough with Uranus how it calls for us to be individuals about the changes that have been set upon us individually. Yes, of course, whether it be an earthquake or some strange thing we have to deal with, a mental psyops experiment or whatever, like it's just a suggestion. Each individual has to handle these things, and that's what the vibe is that we're going through. If you didn't notice, there was something in the past that was that, and then it's just compounding now with more and more. There's going to be like, if anything, there's going to be like a religion kind of like thing. It's just a refreshing of a common humanitarian like ethic, but it's a call within, let's just say within the system here. It's like very much an imprisonment that the financial institution is pulling off, enslavement. You know, the thing about me is that I don't mind being in isolation. I have a Jupiter in isolation, and behind closed doors, it's like you can really benefit from working alone and getting back to just being a contributor from the place that you have resources to work with. If it's just alone time, then that could be great and enough, right, to be able to contribute it back. But getting back to money, how it takes away, it can take away some of those resources, of course, it can control the time, really. Having said this, babes, we can't say this enough to you people. You probably don't even know this, but I see it, pardon me, more and more trying to be told. And I can't forget it, right? You wonder what's happening. Well, you're being clubbed over the head by this people, You just wish we can get on the same page, and just look at this. It's like, first of all, can you relax away from that crap? Because that crap, what we're talking about, the money system, is designed to distract you in every single way, um, every way, shape, or form. 100%. This life, I'm pretty sure, I'm convinced, it's like, okay, so you can psychologically detach yourself from it and just know that it's there and work it, but you do not treat yourself or disrespectful or any other life or your love relationships or connection or anything, other people, over it. You don't run the game so much. You don't play the game to where um, you are now deceiving. See, you're becoming the deceiver. That's where I'm pretty sure the story of Christ Jesus was flipping the tax table, saying, about what is this money doing? And I've talked about this before, and I'm not certain that the point is being even conveyed very clearly. I know that it's very clear in my head, and a lot of times it's like it's really controversial, right? You don't want to just kabloop jabop and say it in just 5 words because somebody will say, "Yeah, you again," kind of a thing. But more like Mr. Smith shows up, or and also the feeling. It comes with a feeling too. Not only Mr. Smith is there, but you're like, "Oh yeah, this place. It's just this. We are under. Can you hear the frequencies? It's not just that we are under. We're going to turn to metal and meld into a fucking machine. It's frequencies. We are being bombarded by frequencies. I am certain that realtors and mainly just big agencies that if they can't burn it down, they want to make it really uncomfortable for people that are having a jolly good time over there. Over there, here. In the rural areas. See, like what happened to Hawaii. Wasn't that a nice place to live? God. And just let that pass over because nobody gonna report about it, but people are talking about it. You can find research and stuff, I'm sure. Everybody's so busy with their life they can't get on the same page with anything, I guess. I'm gonna keep this video going. What is it? Mercury retrograde going back into Leo. Woe is us. Boy, it's gonna start squaring Uranus. That's what exactly it's doing. And this is the third video, and I'm glad that I'm just cracking a smile. I think I tried to talk about it, is that people are apt to be a contagion of the worst kind because they don't know how to be happy, I guess, and I didn't just say that I'm free from being one of those people that all of a sudden, I rub somebody wrong and I give them I'm the reason they had a bad day or a bad feeling or something. But then again, I am my own dad's daughter who, um, well, her dad says, really, it's the same as any Buddha would say. It's like the right thing to say is that nobody can make you feel anything that you didn't allow yourself to go into and start feeling a certain way with reactions and stuff. And then there's the nearly rolling my eyes here because we've all got to, I mean, I've certainly got to practice this, but you see, when an Aries is reacting, it's called response, babe. There's a first responder that sometimes it's like boom, and you look later and it's a darn wasp sitting there, and it's like, you didn't want it to sting your eyeball out, and so you don't question that kind of reaction, that even though it's like flaring up, like what I did with the darn asphalt spillers around here, and I was not in any mood at all. But I did exactly what I'm supposed to do in my area. And I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do in my area. And I tell them, how about you? I'd write it there, put little music signs next to it, and um, to this day they don't have a real argument. They are probably, they know that they're sick, fucking more so than anybody like me who piped up the way that I did. Really, it's just they have a lot of karma coming. And having mentioned that, I think that they had spilled some more over here because there's a campus that had spilled truckloads and they were just sitting there in piles. And what better thing to do than put it? See, that meadow sits empty, and they couldn't find anything else to do with that asphalt but to put it way over there in the empty meadow, and it's just gonna sit empty. They drive on it. What are they gonna do? They don't really use it. I think it's terrible. These fucking people with their heads up their ass. Me too. It's my fault. I should have gone there, like I told you guys. You go there and you just tell them, maybe get that thing out of here before fucking just dumping it like that. I'm sorry. I want to get out of here. I made a video. I don't know. I erased them all just now in front of your face. That tells you that's probably the possibility that Aries, you are feeling this north node. It's really calling you to just live. And we're very active, and it might be that if it happens to be that it's a relationship or your job or a place to live, for me it's all three, right? Woo! You're redoing your whole fucking life, especially if you're an Aries rising, and there is an especially if you're an Aries rising case when we're talking about the Chiron placement. And now we want to talk about Black Moon Lilith conjuncting the Libra South node, because it's the North and South node Libra Aries, and it's the men and women issue. Libra relationships, Aries, our independence feeling. There's a balance needs to be made, and if anybody knows that, Aries does know this because they're looking at Libra on the seventh house there, and they are the independent one, and it's just something that needs to be achieved. Really, it's probably like, what do they call it, like individuation separation. You don't want to become such the weird fucking shit that's happening with the populace. They do not know that reality exists. It's just a mental scape, and it's like everybody's moving to a mindset or like a pulsating, like what I mean is, mentality. The the squawk box or another person obligated, and not that. See, I didn't just say that we don't cooperate with each other and make a connection, and no, but how do you do that without having established something? Like, you put the oxygen on your mask first so that you can, like, hey, how are you doing? Yeah, say, this is great, cool, all right? And then, well, hey, I'm glad you got yours too. I thought so. Isn't it fucking fun? No, fucking hey, it is. That's the main thing. Early on, you'll notice about me is really that's what it's about. And then, oh, God forbid that we got to ask for help now. I'm not good at doing that. Gotta feel better about myself, more appreciative, because when we just do things naturally that other people takes them a lot of practice to do or whatever, Aries is just doing it and very just boisterous and um, doing things 110% and Like I said, they are responding. It's not reaction mode. Not all the time. Not really. What if people do need to be just responded upon, like fucking yelled at and said, "How dare you?" And really, you're standing it up for it now? Go ahead, call the teacher. Let's see. Kind of a thing. Bad fucking trip to be pouring fucking asphalt around where just because you could get it, you got it. When really, I'm here to tell you, I'm sorry, you people, you fucking stupid fucking people doing money. It's gonna have you buying six. Get a dozen, get half a dozen free, and all of it's poison for you. Is this the same video where I'm saying that money is doing nothing but shitting atop of every possible peak of consciousness that can come up, especially now? It may have had some kind of better looking intention at one point, stringing out the dollies across the board. But here it is, the 20s again. And we're heading into collapse and depression. Just watch that. If it didn't happen already, see, I'm making this on the 18th, and then I'll put it on the 20th. It's like, what's going to happen between now and blah, blah, blah. But we're looking at some kind of media money collapse, perhaps. Venus square to Saturn over there. Oh, God, it's so cold and dry on I was about to say just the sheer sugar-coated fucking bullshit. Stop waiting for somebody to be the one that bends over backwards, right? Be the one that does more work. Be the Aries type. Where is it? Communicate. You have to communicate now. I know that for Aries, even though it's like cross wires right now with the Mercury retrograde for everybody, just keep trying to communicate. Make a breakthrough. I know that. Is this the same video? Where, yeah, you do things unique to you. That's the individualization call. And with the Uranus and the air and the Mercury square and the Sun square, and then, it's the Sun oppose the Moon, and then Moon squares Mercury, and then Mercury makes a, square to Uranus. See, Uranus is over there in left field, over there in Taurus, which is so weird. And I saw a video, I guess it was streamed today on the 18th, where a little geyser over in Wyoming, there's geysers, right? There's a massive tourist park, national, tourist attraction where it's volcanic. And you can go and see the different kind of geysers, and they're pretty much predictable and not doing much, but this one just blew up into a massive, we got to get out of here. And so that means that something geological is happening underneath this plane here, and we don't know the true nature of that. We know that they can go underground and start fishing around, setting things off with underground resonance machines, which, so be it. I think that whatever is trying to do that is actually benevolence. I mean, if you think about it, who else has that power to take it? And then they're just they're trying to get humanity off its knees. But unfortunately, many people are just not going to make that. They're not going to make it, and they're like, that's what the game we're playing. We have to cull the population. And however the stress, it's best to cause it without, unbeknownst to everybody else, without anybody knowing that whatever kind of weaponry that has caused the stress and causes more illness and famine and see, that's the 20s for us, isn't it? By the 20s of the 19th century, 1920, by 1926 it was far off into the depression, I think, right? They had a depression that was caused by controllers of everything. They just said, "Nah, your product is not $1 per widget, it's only a penny per widget." Why? Because we're the one who's making it worth anything. That's wrong. That's wrong. That means you're encapsulated. And you would like to go home now. You're like, well, I would like to stop working for this club because talk about a club. You can say because well, there's more resources in my own backyard, and it's funner there. Hi Tesla. Did I get around to telling your story? Not really.